Hello and welcome. Today we're looking at the CSJ X8, also known as the X46G drone, courtesy of TomTop.com. Check out their site for more cool quadcopters just like this one. Now this drone has two cameras, the main one taking 4K pictures and 1080p video. The secondary camera is an optical flow camera that takes 720p images. It is a foldable brushless GPS quadcopter that has waypoints, follow me, orbit, return to home, and plenty of automated features along with an LCD backlit display controller. So let's check it out. Now the drone comes in this gray travel bag, and there are versions that come with a travel case and perhaps even boxed versions. But this travel bag is of good quality and comes with a carrying strap and a handle at the top, and it's made out of good quality material all around. So very good quality case here. And so let's unzip it and take a look inside. So good quality travel bag, and right away you could see it has an inner pocket, and in there is the instruction manuals. So let's take a closer look at those. And this features the version of the quadcopter that has the red grill in the front. This one has the silver grill. And very good detailed instruction manual with plenty of diagrams and pictures. So pretty good. We'll remove this styrofoam cover here, and everything's packed away all nice and neat in there. You could see the quadcopter and the controller, and there's space for additional batteries since there are versions with multiple batteries. Right away we can see the quadcopter with its 4K camera. It's all folded and compact. You can see its optical flow camera underneath, and it says Battle Wolf, and it's from Toys Sky, and this is a foldable one. And as usual, you have to fold it a certain way and align the propellers to have an optimal fold. So very nice looking, very sleek, highly resembles a DJI Mavic, and so very cool. Very nice looking quadcopter here. Interesting design. And so now let's take a look in the case at the transmitter. And here we have the transmitter, a very compact DJI-like transmitter. And it has these fold-out antennas that are most likely just for looks. And it has this fold-out mobile device mount. And very comfortable controls. And it takes a couple batteries there in the back. So very good. And then we have this little inner box here that I believe has the spare propellers. It indeed does. So we have 4 folding spare propellers. So that's pretty good. And they're real simple folding propellers. So we'll just set that in here and just put it aside. Put it away here. And then right over here we have a box that has probably the charging cable, the micro USB charge cable, along with a screwdriver. And so we would charge the drone's battery with this cable, and then the screwdriver would either change the batteries on the transmitter or the propellers on the drone. So that's essentially it. We have a couple of compartments there for extra batteries. I believe this set comes with up to 3 batteries. So let's organize all this and take one last look at the contents of the package. Now, taking one last final look at the contents of the package, we have the drone itself with its 7.4 volt 3500 milliamp an hour LiPo battery, 4 folding spare propellers, a screwdriver, the transmitter, the micro USB charge cable for the drone's battery, the instruction manuals, and the case. So that's essentially the contents of the package. Now let's take a closer look at the drone. Now taking a closer look at the drone, this is a neat looking drone that highly resembles a DJI Mavic. And here in the front you could see its remote tilting or 90-degree tilting 4K camera that shoots pictures in 4K but takes video in 1080p wide angle. And here below we have its optical flow camera that takes both pictures and video in 720p. And right here there appears to be what looks like an SD card slot, but unfortunately it isn't. So there is no onboard SD card to save the footage. All of it is streamed in through the mobile app. And here in the front it says Focus Model Drone and has a silver grille, while the X46G model has a red grille. And here on the battery it says Battle Wolf, and right here below on the drone it says Toys Sky. And now taking a look at the motors, we have 1806 brushless motors on the quadcopter. Fortunately, it doesn't come with any propeller guards, but has these foldable propellers. And the drone itself is foldable, as you can see here, and everything locks firmly into place. So definitely a good quality folding quadcopter. And as you can see here, everything's compact and organized here, and you could see the camera and optical flow sensor and all the features there. So very compact and sleek. And then once again, everything folds and locks firmly into place when you fold it out, and the wires are properly tucked away, so there is no exposed wiring within the folds. And now looking at the battery here that says Battle Wolf, this is a 7.4 volt 3500 milliamp an hour LiPo battery, and it charges with the included micro USB cable right here on the side where the micro USB port is on the battery. And it takes about a couple of hours, perhaps 3, to fully charge it, and it provides the drone with around a 25-minute flight time. And you can check the level of charge by single pressing the button and see if it's either green, red, or blue. And if you double tap it, a short press with a long press, you can turn on the battery itself to turn on the quadcopter. And the red light indicates a low charge, medium is the blue color, and green is a full charge. So now let's connect it here to the drone. It has a couple of latches, so it locks into place. So as you can see, a single press doesn't turn on the drone, but double tapping it will turn on the quadcopter. And as you can see, it has a lot of colorful and bright LEDs throughout the drone. We have some blue ones, red, and then the white ones in the front. And it is pretty good for orientation or an early evening flight. And to turn it off, you simply double tap the battery once again and it will turn off the battery. So overall, a pretty sturdy, well-built quadcopter with plenty of features. And so now let's take a closer look at the transmitter. Now taking a closer look at the controller, this is a very comfortable, compact DJI-like transmitter. And here in the back, it takes 3 AA batteries, as you can see here. And they are held in place with this lid and a screw. And looking at the front of the unit, at the top, we have these 2 foldable antennas. But unfortunately, they are just for looks. They don't appear to be valid antennas with any sort of wiring running through them. And down below we have this fold-out mobile device mount where you could put a pretty large cell phone but not quite a tablet. And looking at the front of the unit here, we have a nice LCD display along with an LED indicator right over here. And the LCD display does have very good telemetry, such as the level of charge on both the drone and the transmitter, the number of satellites and the signal strength, the orientation of the drone, the speed, the height and distance of the drone, whether GPS is on or off, the rate at which it's set at, etc., etc. So a lot of good telemetry on this LCD display that is backlit. And now going over the controls, we have the left throttle stick followed by the right rudder stick. And then we have the on-off button right here at the lower center. Then we have our auto takeoff and auto land button right here. We have our return to home button right over here. Then we have our camera tilt buttons on this side here. This button right here will raise the camera up, and this one will lower the camera up to 90 degrees. This is the GPS compass calibration button, and this button right over here is the gyro calibration button. So you have both calibration buttons right there on that side. And now looking at the top of the controller, we have our photo and video button. A long press will take a video and a short press will take a photo. And then we have our rates of speed button with 2 rates of speed, low and high, and they're denoted by beeps. And all of this is displayed in the LCD display as well. So a very comfortable, good transmitter that provides the quadcopter with up to 800 meters range of control. So now let's take a closer look at setting this up for a first-time flight and its app. Now, setting up for a first-time flight is very straightforward. Once you have a fully charged battery inserted into the drone, along with fresh batteries inserted into the transmitter, and have mounted a mobile device, you would proceed to activate the drone by double pressing the on-off button located at the top of the battery, like so, and that will turn on the drone. Then you would long press the on-off button on the transmitter, and it should automatically bind out of the factory. No need to push up and down on the throttle stick. It should already be bound. Now you can perform a gyro calibration by keeping the gyro calibration button pressed on the transmitter, and make sure that the drone is on a flat level surface. So you would just keep that pressed, and you should see the lights rapidly blink. And optionally, you can also do it using the sticks by moving the left stick to the upper left and the right stick to the lower right, and that will also calibrate the gyros. Now you want to calibrate the GPS compass by keeping the GPS compass calibration button pressed, and you should see non-stop rapid blinks. You can alternatively do it by moving the left stick to the lower left and the right stick to the upper right. In either case, you should see the lights start to rapidly blink, and now you've got to rotate the quadcopter 3 times clockwise on its flat horizontal axis until you hear a beep, and then you got to face the camera upwards and rotate another 3 or 4 spins clockwise until you hear another beep. And now the GPS compass should be fully calibrated along with the gyros. So now everything is fully calibrated. Now you want to connect to the drone's Wi-Fi to use the app. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Now, once in your mobile device's Wi-Fi settings, you want to look for an entry that says Lula_4K_5G_ and a serial number. And once you find that entry, you want to connect to it. And initially, there is no default Wi-Fi password or anything like that. So once connected, you would go ahead and launch this app right over here, which you can download for free in either the iOS or Android app stores. And it's the HFun Plus app with the purple icon, HFun for Have Fun Plus. And so you would launch that, and right away you will be greeted with this screen right here. And there's a lot of options, settings, and help. For instance, app instructions at the top will give you a brief overview on how to use the app and some of its main features. So a lot of useful information there. And then we have flight logs, and then we also have settings where you can change the language, do firmware updates, even do some anti-shake options as well, and fix photographs, so on and so forth. There's even prepare to fly, where you can do your compass calibrations, but you want to start out with start right here, and right away you should have a live feed with the drone, as you can see here. And it has a very clear feed. As you can see, there's a little bit of latency, but supposedly the FPV range on this is around 300 meters with the 5G Wi-Fi, and so pretty clear, but a little bit of lag, but not too bad. So that's essentially the FPV transmission there. And now let's briefly go over the app. There's a lot of telemetry at the top of the app. There's distance, height, speed, vertical speed, the amount of remaining charge on both the transmitter and drone. Here we have several camera options, such as being able to switch between the main camera and the camera underneath the drone, or the optical flow camera that records in 720p. And here you could see it has a live feed as well, and you can also take pictures from it. So this is the 720p camera underneath the drone that records both video and takes images. And then also we can revert back to the main camera using this icon here, and this icon will split the display so that you can place it inside of VR goggles to fly FPV. This icon right here will flip the camera display so that you could see it upside down if necessary. This icon right here will shoot in 2K depending on the type of device you are using. And then this icon right here will go to your photo gallery so you can view taken videos and pictures. And this icon with the arrow will take you back to the main screen. And then we have a music video mode here where you can actually choose between several filters to filter out the recorded video. You can also use different audio or music options right here to insert those in your music video. And then you can go to the gallery and you can alternate the display by either rotating it or going between the bottom or top camera or splitting the display between those two cameras. So a lot of options there for the music video mode. Here's the 50x zoom, which is not a true optical zoom. It's more of a pixelated zoom, but it's an extra feature there. And here we have virtual controls, so you can fly the quadcopter using these controls. There's also this icon to adjust the rates of speed, and then the auto takeoff icon, which requires the motors to be unlocked through the last icon below. And you can also do an emergency stop through this icon right here. Then you can switch to the map view right over on this side, and in map view you can draw your waypoints and submit those waypoints through this icon here at the top right. And so plenty of waypoint options there. And then we have other advanced features through this icon here. We have the tracking or follow me mode right here. Then we have the selfie gesture mode right here. And then you can execute those commands using this icon down below. And then we have also the circular, orbit, or surround. And then lastly, we have the return to home icon right here. And then you can switch back to FPV mode or switch between map and FPV mode if necessary. So plenty of neat features within the app with lots of telemetry. And the quadcopter has plenty of neat features itself. Unfortunately, it doesn't have an SD card to record onboard footage. So all the footage has to be streamed in, which could have a lot of frame skips. And aside from that, it is a smooth flyer at a good price. So let's take her up for a spin and see how she performs.